Good morning, everybody. Welcome to this. This is fun. Welcome to this Monday edition of Going On Daily Live, where Chuck is in a fantastic mood.
I am. I've been drinking coffee all morning.
Oh, right.
My roofing company's doing jobs and I'm not even at them.
That's
I don't
awesome.
think it gets any better than that.
No, it doesn't. Being the boss, sitting at home, podcasting, having a coffee. I mean, I don't drink coffee, but if I did, sounds fantastic. Sounds great.
Indeed it is.
Well, we got a really good show today for everybody. We're going to end it today on a story that's going to ruin your morning, though. So right now you're like, yeah, exciting. No, it's not. I plan to end that real fast.
We're going to urinate in your Wheaties, folks.
We are going to, yeah. Is that a saying? Is that a saying?
It is. Okay. Not urinate, but, you know.
Okay, all right, I see.
There's a slang term for that. That's what we do in people's Wheaties when we ruin their day.
I don't think we have Wheaties here. I know what they are.
What?
Are they still a thing?
I think.
I want to say
now that you think about this, I haven't had Wheaties in about 30 years, so I don't know.
Maybe not.
Never was one of my favorite cereals.
I think they were like, after they put Bruce Jenner on it and then his whole change, they're like, you know what? We can't anymore. We're done. We're done having Wheaties.
Wheaties
there Ron says it piss in your
passe.
Right. And Sharon's here as well. Good morning, Sharon.
Good morning, Sharon.
Why don't we just dive into it? Things that don't need improvements, but got them anyway, which is also the longest title we've had for a segment.
Apparently. Well, now I'm bringing a contributing factor, which is the longest and most annoying title. But look, it all fit. Things that don't need improvements, but got them anyway. So check this out, Becky. I was doing a event this past week over in Dallas, Texas, and I was in the car for quite a while. And when I travel, this is when things really hit me. The brilliance really strikes me when I'm traveling.
Of course.
And I started to think about some things, and I get to where I was going. I flipped on my Facebook, and you know what the first thing I noticed on Thursday or Friday of this past week was on social media? Cracker Barrel has changed their logo. Now, I don't know, but there is a huge uproar right now. And I do think that the new logo does kind of suck, but I didn't realize that people were so passionate about Cracker Barrel until they changed their logo. And now it's like,
I think they weren't. However, people are getting tired of this constant changing. I'm sure someone was like, we can't have this old man on here. That's offensive to non-men around the world. So then they changed it, and now people are mad about it. So
the thing that's the craziest about that is I never even noticed that dude sitting on the logo until they brought it up and were like, this guy's terrible. He sucks. And I did some research and found out that's an actual guy. His name's Uncle Herschel. Okay. And he was the guy who started Cracker Barrel's uncle. Like, ultimate tribute, and now it's like, Herschel, hit the pavement, son, you're out.
Get out of here, Herschel.
This made me think about some things. And I go to this event, and one of the first things that they show is it was a marketing demonstration, right? And they were talking about mistakes in marketing, things that have gone completely wrong, things that have completely screwed up a brand. And one of the things, the first thing I saw, which I actually thought was brilliant, but unfortunately, I feel like it was just slightly beyond its useful life expectancy, is that, Cracker Barrel lost nearly $100 million in market value following the backlash from its new logo. That's crazy.
People are done. Okay. Like, people are mad about these constant changes for whatever woke agenda that it has. Like, I saw an interview with the CEO of Cracker Barrel, and she's like, we're just trying to make it what everyone wants it to be. Like, nobody wants that. Nobody at all.
Apparently not. And I didn't even know Cracker Barrel was worth $100 million. So, I mean, that's a pretty big chunk out of their value if that's what they lost in a single day. But, you know, okay, Cracker Barrel. One prime example, which got me thinking, and they showed this ad from back in, like, I guess the early 2000s, maybe the late 90s. And I think this could have been a saving grace had it not been about 10 years too late. And it was Kmart. And I don't know if you're familiar with the store Kmart.
I do know it. We used to have
Kmart was awesome, right? We had Kmarts all over the place when I was a kid. It was kind of one of those stores that we made fun of because it was like the discount store.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Kmart tried to become more mainstream when Walmart and Target took their spot.
Right.
This marketing campaign, and it was absolutely hilarious. It was these old people, and they were just getting into the internet, right?
Mm.
And they were like standing in the Kmart store, and the old man says, "I just shipped my pants." And it was like, dude, that is brilliant, right? And all these kids are like, my mattress, I just shipped the bed. I just, and it was absolutely hilarious. And I thought,
so weird.
It probably would have worked if it was maybe 10 years later or 5 years earlier.
Okay.
They tried to change their branding. Ultimately, it led to their demise. They weren't ever really able to
come back from that.
But I think about some of the things that were changed that didn't end up going away, and some did, but some of these things had to be reverted back immediately, right? And I know you're not old enough to remember this, but back in the mid-'80s, the biggest drink company in the world, Coca-Cola, decided randomly out of the blue that they were going to completely change the formula of their Coke. And this was insane to me. I was 7 years old when this happened. I'm not going to say the year because then you'll be able to figure out how old I am. I'm 26, but back in the mid-'80s, I was a kid. So my parents had a convenience store, and I'll never forget this. They brought in these new Cokes, and it was like they phased out the original formula. Nobody was really asking for this. I think Coke was popular and people liked it, and do believe it was the largest soft drink brand in the world. But they decided they needed to change it, right? And they brought this thing out called New Coke, and the cans were still red and silver, but they had like a different font, and it looked a little bit off. And I don't know exactly what they did to change it, but I remember it didn't taste as good. And true to form, people had a complete uprising against the New Coke. And I think the New Coke lasted for like, I don't know, a couple months maybe. And then Coca-Cola brought back in this Coca-Cola Classic, which was just their way of saying,
that's why they call it Classic. I didn't know that.
Classic was just the regular Coke. And then one thing I noticed is over the course of time, the New Coke just disappeared. And I wondered to myself, like, whose idea was it to take an iconic brand, the biggest thing of its kind in the world, and just randomly change it and expect us to not have a riot and not to have a terrible deal.
You know why though? Because the original recipe literally had cocaine in it. So they were probably like, all these people were like, it doesn't taste the same because they couldn't get their fix anymore.
Exactly. So nobody was complaining about it though. I mean, it was like the original energy drink. You drink a 6-pack of Coke, you'd be up for a week. And
you feel really good about yourself.
Totally. Yeah, it was pretty good. Dare I say we were maybe addicted to it. So at some point, someone decided that wasn't good, and they're like, "Nope, we got to stop this." Yeah, they took the cocaine out like probably sometimes in the 70s or whatever. I don't know. I think honestly, like in the 30s, probably. But that's one of those ingredients that's probably in like half the energy drinks we have today, and we just don't realize it.
Taurine/cocaine.
Yeah, and hey, I'm not complaining. But New Coke was a thing, right? And it just kind of faded away real quick because of the same public outcry that we have with Cracker Barrel. And then I started thinking about other instances where this has happened. And maybe you are old enough to remember this because it happened in the mid-'90s. You were probably a young child in the mid-'90s. But Pepsi then decides they're going to screw themselves up the same way that Coke did. And they came out with this thing called Crystal Pepsi.
I remember that.
Right?
Everyone went nuts for Crystal Pepsi, though.
For like a month.
Yeah.
It was awesome, right? Like, oh my God, it's totally different. It's going to taste totally different. And I don't know what the understanding was, that it was like healthier because it wasn't dark, or what the reason was, but Crystal Pepsi came in like a hurricane. My parents had a convenience store, and I remember vividly that I bought myself like an entire case of it. And I was trying to get Crystal Pepsi on board, but it didn't quite work out, right? So it's like, why did they continue to try to alter these things, make them different? And Crystal Pepsi actually made a comeback a couple years ago.
I remember that.
And once again, it quietly faded into oblivion. So it's like, Pepsi, stop doing this. Didn't you learn from your counterparts at Coke that we just want the nasty stuff that's going to make us unhealthy We want the sugar.
We want to be
want the
obese.
darkness in it that makes our kidneys like feel bad. And that's what we crave as Americans. And I would venture to guess Canadians as well to a degree.
Totally.
Although Canadians seem to be a little bit smarter with their food than we are.
No, absolutely not. We just don't put as many hormones in it. But
well, there you go. We're all about the hormones here in America. Totally. And that's what we love. So there was one other item that I remember very vividly. I think I was maybe not a kid anymore, but a young adult.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember going to the grocery store and you see these ketchups. And the ketchups are like green and blue and purple and like orange. And I understood the concept was that people thought that maybe kids would like their ketchup better if it was green or whatever the thought process was.
Yeah.
Do you ever hear anybody that says, man, I really miss that green ketchup? I think the exact opposite happened of what was intended. And it actually scared the crap out of kids. Kids were looking at their hamburgers that were now purple and green and blue, and they didn't want to eat them.
The purple is weird. Is it, was it like the green made with like tomatillos instead of tomatoes?
No, it was just a green dye. It was ketchup. That's it.
Yuck.
And these kids were like, man, what the hell's this? Pardon my language. What the heck is this? And it kind of bombed terribly. So Heinz ketchup went right back to the regular red ketchup like nothing ever happened. We all went about our business and everybody was cool. But somebody at some point decided that we needed to have colored ketchups. And I don't understand why, because ketchup is one of those items that you just look at and you think, it's red. It's just known as red. It's like Coca-Cola. Why do we need to change the formula when nobody's asking for it? And much like Cracker Barrel today, I don't understand the situation, but these are some things that have come across in life that have gotten random improvements when they were completely unwarranted and literally nobody was asking for them.
Nobody asked for it.
I hope that Cracker Barrel can survive. I'm not going to lie and say that I go to Cracker Barrel all the time. And maybe that's part of the reason why they felt there was a necessary rebranding and a huge change.
They were losing customers or whatever.
But did they lose $100 million a day? Any other day other than the day they unveiled this? I don't know. So I think that's going to be the death blow. And unfortunately, I feel like one day we're going to look at Cracker Barrel like we look at Kmart. Blockbuster Video, all these things that are no longer with us.
Remember Cracker Barrel? Like you get like a mediocre breakfast, but there was like crafty stuff all over the place. That
was the joy of it. That was the whole reason why we went to Cracker Barrel. It wasn't really because of the food. I mean, as far as I recall, the food was all right.
It's breakfast. How do you mess up breakfast?
How do you mess up eggs and biscuits and pancakes? And quite frankly, their pancakes are amazing. So I don't know, but
Ron wants to know what that was. Was it like a lawnmower outside your window?
It's the stupid guys. Every Monday they start doing the landscaping right outside my door.
Oh, that's
annoying. We can hear it today because I'm opening the mic a little bit. But yeah, they're right literally about 3 feet away from me on the outside with giant leaf blowers. So gotta love them. Anyways. Those are some things that didn't need improvements, but got them anyway, folks. And if you have any ideas about other things that maybe shouldn't have been changed.
So there was this mustard scandal in Canada about under 10 years. Under 10 years, I think.
Scandal.
It's 5 years, maybe. Well, it's where I think it was either Heinz mustard or French's mustard. I cannot remember which one, but like the main mustard here decided that it was going to pull everything from Canadian manufacturers and do it in the States. And Canadians were like, absolutely not. Like we wouldn't. And then so we started buying the opposite one. And now I just don't remember which one it was, either Heinz or French's. But yeah, it was like it did. I mean, maybe it saved them money. So, but the odd time Canada is like, hey, let's be patriotic. Let's support, like right now. Oh, there's tariffs. Let's pretend like we like Canada. That's what we do.
Yeah. I didn't know there was a mustard scandal, but whichever one it was, shame on you. I would have bought French's if I'd known that it was Canada. And I would have to assume Canada because it's French. Yeah, maybe that's just me looking too deep into it. See, there we go. We're thinking the same thing at the exact same time.
So I'm not sure if you read Sharon's comment prior when we were talking about Coke. So she said she was in high school at the time. Her teacher had a friend in the marketing department of Coca-Cola. We
Oh,
did studies on it, submitted our findings to Coke, who then graded our papers for us. I said new Coke would fail. They gave me an F. Like, that's not biased by any means. After it failed, I sent my paper back. They made A plus and offered me a job in their marketing department. Crazy.
that is crazy. And that reminds me of the time when I was in high school. I failed as well because we had to do for our government class, we had to write a bill that would become a law in the United
Mm.
States. We had to back it up with all kinds of facts and ways that it would be beneficial. And I was about 25 years ahead of my time. Mine was to legalize
Weed.
weed. And I failed immediately. And they told me that I wasn't going to graduate from high school because it was an offensive subject,
Wow.
completely disrespectful and inappropriate. And guess what ended up happening all those years later?
Yeah, exactly.
And everything that I said was going to happen when I was just a 17-year-old kid actually
Listen,
happened. So
those teachers better be rolling around in their graves now.
no comment.
You know, Canada heard that essay of yours and they were like, you know what? Great idea. Let's do it.
It
Let's
is a
do
great
it. Let's
idea.
make it available for teenagers who are 18 and older.
Yeah. Money goes to the school. So, hey, we're going to dumb up our adults, but we're going to make our kids a lot smarter. So I think it's an even trade, folks.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yeah, things that don't need improvement. Ketchup does not need a color. It's tomatoes. I want them to look like tomatoes. It
Exactly.
already has 85 ingredients in it that don't need to be there. So let's
There
keep
you
it the
go.
way it is. Yeah. Cool. Well, let's dive in. Well, before we dive into this next topic, which is rare body traits, let's talk social media here. We got a lot of social medias for people. If they want to follow us at any of these platforms here, you can watch us live, Kick, YouTube, Rumble at Rhode Island Broadcasting. Over here, Twitch at RI_broadcasting. You can also support the show with bits over there. This is where you can watch us live, 10 a.m. Eastern, 9 a.m. Central, 8 a.m. Mountain Time. But if you can't be with us at that time, take a look here. We've got Spotify, Red Circle, TuneIn, iHeartRadio at RI Broadcasting. You can get the audio there. Of course, we have a whole ton of socials that you can follow. Some you've probably never even heard of. U42, Odyssey, Gab Space, Hey. Well, TikTok, you've probably heard of. MeWe, you probably have not heard of. Parlor, all of the above. So RI Broadcasting. And you can also, right here, right under me, this orange P, that's our Patreon. Get yourself some merch over there. Keep the show going. RI Broadcasting there. Over there under Chuck, we've got X/Twitter. I keep hearing the names going back to Twitter. I don't know if that's accurate, but that's at Broadcasting RI. Follow us there. You can also come to our new Facebook page. Eventually, we will go live again on Facebook. Going On Daily Morning Show is where you find us there. And finally, support the show on our website at RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net. You can watch all of our shows there. You can watch other shows on the Rhode Island Broadcasting Network. You can donate up to $10 million there. So head over to RhodeIslandBroadcasting.net or any of our socials. Oh, vote for Hall of Fame. I'm not even sure what that's all about, but you can vote for the Hall of Fame over on Rhode Island Broadcasting.
Well, Becky, let me tell you what that's all about, because
Yeah,
last week on the episode, we discussed the Hall of Fame.
Oh, okay.
And basically, it is the Music Hall of Fame. And there's going to be 5 candidates every month, maybe. And we're asking our fans to go vote to see who's going to be in the Going On Daily Rhode Island Broadcasting Music Hall of Fame. I myself voted for the Beach Boys last week.
Nice.
And
Okay.
I encourage everybody to do so.
I'm going to go do it right now. Well, not right now.
Because if they don't get voted on, they get banned. And it's music, movies, and TV. I thought it was just music, but here we are, exceeding every expectation.
Well, listen, I'm sure Prince is in there, and then I'll be angry about it.
Prince is probably in there, and I would say the only caveat to it is if they don't get votes 2 years in a row, they get booted. And one of Ron's stories was that Kobe Bryant had actually been booted from eligibility for the Hall of Fame in the sports wing. And I think that's a little bit crazy, but that's also why I voted for the Beach Boys, because I feel like the Beach Boys were going to get overlooked in a cloud of amazing musicians.
That's true.
And they're going to get one vote. If nothing else, they'll be on the ballot again next year. And maybe you guys will come to your senses and vote for the Beach Boys.
I just voted for the Beatles.
I think everybody else is voting for the Beatles. It'll be like
I do
100, and I'll be like the one guy that
the
voted for the
one
Beach
Beach Boy.
Boys.
Hey,
That's
Beach
why I
Boys are
did it.
good. Don't get me
Hey,
wrong. I like
as long as
them.
they get to stay on the ballot, that's all that matters.
Love it.
Eventually, the Beach Boys will get in.
Eventually. Just keep voting. All right, next topic here, rare body traits. Now, I've got a huge list here.
Oh,
So I'll try and get through them all, but see if you have any of them or, Lena's here, Ron's here, Sharon's here, anyone else in the comments, let me know if you have any of these. So I'm guessing none of you have this first one, golden blood. Apparently there's a thing where your blood is golden, it's not red. And there's only 48 humans on Earth who have this.
wow.
Crazy. I don't know what the difference
know for
is.
a fact I smashed my hand with the hammer the other day. I'm one of the
And
other folks that has
blood
red blood, unfortunately. No gold here.
No.
But I wonder what the value on the street, what the market value for gold blood would be. I mean,
I'll probably keep it to myself if I had gold blood then.
yeah.
How about if you're a person who can consistently sleep 4 hours a night without feeling tired? Now, if we can sleep 4 hours, have like a second wind. No, you have to have the coffee because you're tired.
I'm not tired. I just like the coffee because I like to be extremely energetic and not just normal energy. I can make it without the coffee.
But if you did 4 hours a night every night for the rest of your life, you'd be exhausted. But there are people,
I probably would. I'd have one of those days where I'd sleep like 60 hours straight, then I'd wake up and do it all over again.
Exactly.
I could probably go several weeks on 4 hours a day.
Well, there are people who can do it every single day and not feel tired. That's only 1% of the population. So I don't know why. It doesn't say why they have that or what sort of mutation it is, but they can do it.
I feel like they're lying, though.
Some
people just say that they can do things just to be cool.
Totally.
I don't think that there's 1% of people that actually can do that. That's 1 out of 100. When you count that by the billions of people on Earth, that's like 300 or 400 people are claiming that they can do this, and I just don't see it.
Yeah, I don't. Ron says he's in that 1%, but I think Ron's tired more than he lets on.
I know. I guarantee Ron slept more than 4 hours last night.
Right.
Guarantee.
Exactly. Okay, so this is a very weird one. Born with a tiny hole near their ear. So if I pull my thing back, right on this part, move my hair, right on this little tiny part here, there's like a little tiny hole. You'd have to look in the mirror probably, but there's only 0.1% of the population that has that. Again, what does it do? Nobody knows.
That's just one of those rare human traits, folks.
Yeah.
Maybe it indicates something. We don't know what it indicates.
Right.
I can honestly say I don't know anybody that's got a tiny hole there that wasn't man-made after the fact.
Exactly. Now, there is talks that it's linked to fish gills. I don't believe that personally.
Oh.
It seems
that's
weird.
That's a whole different topic right
totally,
there.
Yeah.
Fish people.
Fish people. That's right. 1 in 10,000 people are born with a second set of eyelashes on their lid. That would be nice. It'd be like all full and extra mascara. That'd be awesome. I would wish I was 1 in 10,000 people who had that.
I'm going to start looking because I see people that have humongous like fake eyelashes and I wonder, are they doing it to cover up the fact? Are they ashamed that they're in that small percentile? Or maybe. If I was rocking double eyelashes, I think everybody would know. That'd be my move. Like I'd just be walking around all day, just pointing at myself going, hey, what's up guys? Check this out. I'm rare and unique.
It would be awesome. I would love it. Just so bold. I would never have to wear fake eyelashes ever again. Sounds fantastic.
Does sound fantastic.
So there are people out there who have an extra rib growing from their neck instead of their spine.
Oh.
That is 0.5% of the population. That's actually seemed higher than I expected. That seems
absolutely. I wonder, is anybody that's watching today a member of that class? Does anybody have a rib coming out of your neck?
And does it cause any sort of like debilitation?
Yeah. Do you look weird? Can you not turn your head like this? Or
I don't know.
Wow.
What do you think the percentage is of people who have 2 different eyes, like colors?
2 different eye colors. Now, I think this is going to be higher than I would normally expect. So I'm going to say 3.7% of the population have 2 different color eyes.
Okay, that's a good guess, but no, it's much lower. 0.6%.
Oh.
Yeah. Crazy.
Well, I watch
Eh?
wrestling all the time, and I see characters on wrestling all the time with 2 different color eyes.
I'm gonna guess
One
it's
guy has one that's
contacts.
got like just white, and I believe it's natural. I mean, why would it
Believe
not
it's
be? It's
not a
wrestling.
contact.
Not like
Right.
wrestling would lie. Sharon knows 2 people with
2
2 different eye
people.
colors.
Wow. Well,
There you
tell them
go.
they are 0.06% of the population, and you know 2 of them. That's crazy. Now, what do you think the percentages of people who have amber color eyes? So it's not quite brown, it's not quite yellow. It's sort of that honey pool color in between.
That I have to say, I've never seen anybody with amber colored eyes, but maybe that's a trick. I'm going to go with 1.4% of the population has that.
No, 5%. I know.
Oh, okay.
I
Huh.
wonder what constitutes it being amber per se. Like, what would say, no, that's brown. No, that's amber. Like, where's the line?
Exactly. I think it's a technicality because 1 in 20 people,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's
Now I'm
pretty
going to
high.
be looking at people all day like, what color eyes do you have? Do you have amber?
Yeah, right. Sharon says amber colored eyes would be really pretty. Yeah, you were 100% right on that one.
I just think that 5% of the people are not telling the truth there.
Yeah, maybe. I don't like who's measuring. That's just it. This is a good list, but like who's measuring? I don't know. What do we got here? Extra taste buds that make bitter and sweet way more intense.
Oh, I feel like I possess those.
Really? Where you
I
taste
don't have any
bitter and it's like,
scientific proof. I just feel like I do.
okay, 5% of the population. So that's pretty high.
All right.
So you could
I'm going to tell
very
everybody
well.
I'm in that group.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
in the
like, I have extra
5%.
taste buds. How about a gene mutation that makes your bones unbreakable? That's a cool one.
I'm not a doctor, but I will say this. I've been on this planet for a while, and I've done some stupid things in my day.
You've never
However,
broken
one
a
thing
bone.
that I've never done is broken a bone. I have never broken a single bone. Now watch, I'm going to go break my leg this afternoon now that I say that, but maybe I have this gene mutation and I have
Maybe.
unbreakable bones and I just don't know.
So I also have never broken a bone. So
We both
maybe
have
we
it.
are in that less than 1% of the population.
There you
Maybe.
go.
Maybe. Can you wiggle your ears? I can't. I don't think. No, I can't.
No.
I don't know how people do it, but 10% of the population can do it. That's pretty high.
I
That's
remember when I
very
was in
high.
elementary school, we had a kid named Carlton, and he did that. That was like his thing.
His
And
signature move.
yeah, he had some huge ears though, so I don't know if that's got something to do with it. Maybe there were
Maybe.
extra muscles or extra ligaments or whatever goes on in your ears, but he could do it, and he didn't have to make the little thing like that. It was
Jaw clenching. Ron says I have a plastic nose from being crushed by a line drive while pitching. Like
Ron has a
underneath
plastic nose, folks.
Like not
Now your
cartilage.
Monday is
Interesting.
complete. We didn't even know that we needed to know that, but
We didn't
now
know. Yeah, we didn't
I would
know.
have never guessed that Ron had a plastic nose. They did a wonderful job
They
on
did a
that
great
nose
job.
because it looks real to me.
Yeah, right.
Ron, can you smell stuff with the plastic nose? What we need more details on this.
Yeah, we need more information. I'm guessing they just replaced the cartilage that was broken underneath the skin, but now I don't know. Now does he just pull it out?
Yeah.
Like,
Can
they
you
just
go and
remove
like
it?
mouth off to people randomly and be like, go ahead, punch me in the nose. I dare you. And then they do and nothing happens. And you're just like, what's the deal?
I'm just thinking at nighttime, like dentures, you pull it out and you put it on your nightstand, and then in the morning you just like put it back on.
Maybe.
Like that guy on
Mr.
Boardwalk
Potato
Empire.
Head 2000.
Yeah, that's right.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Gross. I hope that's not the case. I think it's just underneath. How about this is a very high number. People who get or don't get at least one of their wisdom teeth.
Who don't get them? Like
At
they
least
never
one.
come in?
Like maybe 3 of them come in, maybe only 2 of them come in.
I wish
It's
that
a
I could have
high
fallen
number.
into that
Yeah,
category,
right,
but I
same.
certainly didn't. I got all of mine and they got cut out on my 18th birthday. And
Chuck,
I believe that my mom did that on purpose so that I wouldn't
right.
have fun on my birthday,
Go
but I did
party.
anyway. Man,
I was 13 when mine came in and I had to get them out. I was in grade 9.
Wow. I mean, it would have been awesome not to have to mess with that.
Totally.
And the percentage of people that don't get, like they get 3 of them, but not 4.
Yeah.
This is going to be a high number, folks.
It
I'm going to
is,
say
yeah.
29%.
Very close, 35%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, God
So,
bless you,
like
35%.
my brother has no wisdom teeth at all. They just never came in. And it's funny because he's got a little gap in his teeth. And if those teeth had come in,
They
it
would
probably
have
would have
pushed him
pushed them
in. Yep.
together.
There you
But it
go.
never did. And I actually have one here about a gap somewhere. I don't know, somewhere in my list. But yeah, there's a percentage of people who have gaps in their teeth, and that's it, which is interesting.
Now we understand the cause. Wow.
Yeah, maybe. How about people who were born with 6 fingers or 6 toes?
I do know somebody that had 6 toes, and it was actually kind of
Really?
weird.
Well, yeah. No
And
fault of their own, but
no
to
fault.
see.
I mean, and weird's not the right way to describe that. I'm sorry.
You're like, that was super
Unique. It
gross.
wasn't weird. I mean, it
Just
was a little
uncommon.
off. It set me off a little bit. 6-toe Tony. I used to know a guy named Big Headed Tony back in the day. I don't think it's the same guy, but yeah, 6 toes or 6 fingers, I think, is going to be pretty low number.
Very low.
I'm going to say it's going to be like 0.33%.
Even lower, 0.007% of the population.
Oh man, imagine to be that one out of whatever that number would end up being.
Let's do some math
70
here.
million people.
Do we have 8 billion people in the world?
It feels like there's 8 billion people on this highway system here in San Antonio any given day. So we've got at least 8 billion.
So
we got like 8 trillion.
8 trillion. Yeah, it's like, hold on, my math skills are poor here. So if I take 8 billion, I times it by 0.007%, 560,000 people. That's still a pretty high number.
That is. I bet each of us knows one, and we just don't maybe even realize it.
Well, Ron knows 6-toe Tony. So yeah, you're right. People probably keep their shoes on, or their
socks, so if you go to the beach and you see someone walking around with their shoes on and they go into the water and they don't ever take the shoes off, you might come up to them and ask, is it because you are one of those 500,000 people that was blessed with a 6th toe? That would suck to wear shoes with 6 toes. I mean,
right. I'd probably just have it removed,
thanks.
I think, so that
have you ever seen the picture of LeBron James's feet?
No.
That's what it would look like. Now, I definitely ask you if you could go Google LeBron James's feet and see what I'm talking about, but you'll understand. That's what it would be like if you had 6 toes. Maybe LeBron has 6 toes. Maybe that's why his feet look the way they do. But
maybe. I'm going to Google it right after this show.
They're incredibly nasty.
A day trip to the beach. We need a host to ask people, oh my gosh, hey, do you have 6 toes? Do you have 6 toes? Prove it. Yeah.
I'm all about it. I was doing that at the roofing convention the other day. I was walking around with the microphone, talking to people, asking them about all kinds of unrelated things. So if you need someone to go to the beach, I'll do it.
I don't have beaches here, or else I would. I'll come to San Antonio.
Come to Texas.
Yeah, that sounds great. Okay, I'll just do maybe 2 more here because my list is long. So people who were born with a longer second toe than their big toe. Now, I thought this was pretty common because I know a lot of people like this, but if you picture feet, that second toe goes past the big toe.
I don't think I have that, but now I'm curious. So after the show today, I'm taking my shoes off and I'm going to examine this thoroughly because
it's wild to me that you're in your house and you have shoes on. That's what's crazy. I could just look down at my Canadian feet and see that I don't have it. But you Americans are like, let me just take off my shoes and socks for a moment inside my house.
Well, I went to the store earlier. That's the only reason why I'm wearing shoes.
And then you just kept them on?
Well, I got to go do some stuff after the episode today. So for what it's worth, though, my shoes are propped up on a ottoman right now, and I'm looking right at them. I'm extremely comfortable.
Comfort.
Yeah, and shoes, I do have shoes on this time, but most of the time I don't. So today's a rarity.
Americans are crazy. So that's only 2% of the population. My dad definitely has that. My mom always calls it his like monkey toe. It's like quite a bit. Like if that's his big toe, it's like this is his second toe.
I feel like that would be painful with shoes as well.
Yeah, maybe.
I think I would know if I had that because I'd be
the
probably
shoe's kind of curved this way, not like this way.
Yeah, it's discriminating against those people, and
that 2% of the population.
Now I wonder, do these shoe manufacturers know this, and do they make a special shoe that none of us know about, but is fairly common for people that have one longer toe on
The
their
underground
than the big toe?
circle of long toe, second
Could
toe
be a
people.
thing. Could be a thing.
Okay, I'll end it on this one about a finger. So your ring finger, so the fourth finger in, is longer than the index finger.
Mine are both.
I think mine are
Wait.
the same.
Yeah, no, my
Or
ring fingers are definitely longer than my index fingers. This is something that illustrates greatness or genius, or am I basically
same.
meeting the expectations that life has given me, and this is like a sign of a complete idiot?
Well, actually, now that we're looking, sometimes depending on how I hold my hand, one is and then it isn't. So I actually don't know. I'm going to say
Oh man,
based
mine
on
are.
that, it's not, but I don't know.
Mine definitely both are.
So well, no, it makes sense because you're male. I've always heard that that's a male thing, but it
Okay, cool.
says that it's 10% of the population, but it's because of higher exposure to testosterone during fetal development. So
What
mine
does
are
that
longer
mean?
too.
My mom was taking THT when I was a
No,
baby, or
I
what?
don't know. I don't
Oh
know how it
no.
works. I'm not a geneticist, but yeah, maybe mine
High
are
levels of
noticeably longer.
testosterone. What are you gonna do? It's beyond my control,
Pump
folks.
some iron and beat somebody up. I don't know.
It's
Go
beyond my
roadhouse on
control.
somebody.
This explains a lot about me, though.
So that'll be it for today's list. I will save the other half for Wednesday. It's pretty good. So yeah,
Indeed. That was
interesting.
awesome.
Yeah, interesting.
Now I'm questioning all kinds of things about myself,
Well, I
and
need
I'm
to know about your
wondering,
toes the second you're done the show here. We need to know.
am I normal?
Are you normal? Yes. Or are you in the, what did I say that percentage was?
It was pretty
10%? No,
high.
2%. Yeah. 10, what? No, 2%. 2%.
One out
That
of
is still
every
pretty high.
50 people. So
Yeah, that's right. I've always said I'm more masculine than feminine, and this proves that, yeah, you were just higher testosterone during
there you go.
development, I guess. Strange. Okay, what have we got here? Signs you're getting older.
Oh, yeah. Signs you're getting older. And this also happened to me the other day at this event that I was at. I got up out of bed and I couldn't move because my back locked up. And I'm sitting there, standing there going, why? What happened? I literally injured myself while sleeping the other day. And to me, I thought, well,
Rowdy
maybe
dream.
that's a sign that I'm getting older. Maybe it's the choices I made in life earlier are finally catching up to me.
I'm sure being a roofer is not easy on your back.
No, or my shoulders or my brain. And I guess it's finally starting to catch up, but made me think about some of the things that we start to recognize about ourselves as we get a little older. When we were kids, we'd laugh at people who are now like what we are.
Well,
And
for me, mine is my back too. Like it went out on Tuesday. I ended up in the hospital this weekend because I couldn't walk. It was so bad. And I'm like, I'm the oldest 38-year-old ever. It's fine. It's just sore. I'm just old. Again, restless sleep.
And
Just like
Becky was a
fighting
roofer when
stuff.
she was a youngster too.
Yeah, that's right. In my
That's
past
something
life.
you didn't know about her. She used to roof houses back in the day.
Tyler.
Much like me. So some of the other things that I think about, right? You hurt yourself. When I get up out of bed, I make all kinds of strange creaking and popping sounds. And it's like, why are my bones doing that? I don't understand. But it's actually something that I celebrate now. For a while, I was worried about it.
Right.
And it was like, man, I don't think my spine is supposed to pop like that every time I move. But now it's like, you know what? That's actually quite enjoyable. So I'm glad that it happens that way.
Right. A nice relief.
Let me tell you something about me. I know I'm getting older because this happened to me just this morning. My driving skills have completely fallen apart, right? I went to the store this morning on my way to the gym. And as I'm leaving this store, which I go to 15, 20 times a week, I'm quite familiar with the surroundings. I understand that you're not supposed to do what I did, but I ran into a concrete pole with the side of my car today.
No.
I did. And there's a giant yellow stripe on the side of my car now. And I'm actually going to blame it on someone else and say that a school bus hit me and like took off. But if you're watching the show today, you realize I'm lying about that. And it's just me being in denial about the fact that somehow, former professional driver for 18 years, I had a CDL. I drove
Whoa.
large trucks. I've considered myself an amazing driver. I used to have a race car simulator where I actually won 3 races in my life. I mean, my driving skills are undeniable, but I hit a concrete pole today that was completely stationary. I don't have any understanding of how I did it, but that's another sign that you're getting a little bit older. I just missed it completely. So
Wow.
I don't know. Getting old sucks, and I'm getting there. And I think one of the reasons why this happened to me, Becky, and this is just me being analytical about it,
Mm-hmm.
I had that darn music up too loud. And everyone knows that when you're coming into something, you're looking for something, you got to turn the music down, or else you're not going to ever find what you're looking for
sure.
because the two are directly correlated. And
or if you're parking, you always got to turn your
always got to turn it down, especially if you're backing up. Yes.
Oh,
I can't back up without having dead silence. And
Yeah.
I remember one time when I drove a truck, this is a completely different story, but I'll tell it right here this morning because it's kind of funny. There was a guy that I worked with, and I didn't really care for him, to be honest. He smoked cigarettes a lot, and to me, never really my thing. I tried that when I was a teenager, and I was able to get off of that habit pretty early on in life. But I had this guy that always smoked cigarettes in the truck. Even though we had a rule against smoking cigarettes, this guy did it anyway because he's buck the system and fight the power and all that good stuff. Well, I was driving a big shingle delivery truck, and it had like probably 8 to 10 pallets of shingles on the back, which is a sizable amount of weight.
Right. Yes.
And I'm driving. I got an 18-speed transmission. You got all kinds of things going on that you have to pay attention to. And I feel like the person that's driving always controls the radio. Well, Becky, we're driving into a neighborhood, and I don't even remember what song it was, but this song comes on, and this dude rushes over to my side of the truck and flips the volume way up on the thing. And you know what happened instinctively?
You crashed.
No, I backhanded him. I smacked him right across the face, and I made it kind of seem like it was unintentional, like it was just a reaction. But deep down in my heart, I was waiting for the perfect time for that to happen for like 3 months. And the moment it happened, I took advantage, and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. But then I said, you have to let the driver control the sounds because you don't know, but it just changes the way that I drive. So kind of a different weird story there, but I backhanded someone one time for adjusting the volume in the truck. I love it. And that was my deal. So
note to self, don't drive with Chuck and don't change the channel.
Well, if you drive with me, just don't change the channel or turn the volume up and everything will be fine.
If you want to get backhanded, you can do those things, but otherwise don't. That's a great story. Do you talk to this guy still? No. It's like,
actually, check this out. I went on a trip about a month ago, and I had to go to a funeral for one of my mentors from back in the day. And this dude was actually at the funeral, and we did talk. And this was like 20 years after I backhanded him.
Did he bring it up?
And so apparently we're still cool.
Did he bring it up? He was like, hey, remember when
No, he didn't bring it up. I think that he realized
he messed up.
Don't bring it up. It might happen again here, and we don't need that. So
emotions are running.
Sometimes you just got to do it. Sometimes. The last thing that is a good indication that you're getting older, and this is me 100% of the way, is instead of getting excited about some of the things we used to get excited at, we now get excited about old people's stuff. And guess what I got the other day? I got a new microwave, and I'm like so fired up about my new microwave because it has a fan in it. Ooh. It's got like 3 different settings. Wow. It's got multiple lights. It's got like different things that you can push the button and it'll know that it's popcorn. It'll know that it's a sweet potato. And I never in my wildest dreams would have imagined that I'd get so excited over something like that, but it's like the coolest thing I own. And, back in the day, it was like, hey, I got a dirt bike. I got, roller blades. I got whatever. Now, as an older, much more refined
older gentleman. Yes.
I am stoked about this new microwave. So
I get that, though. It's like there are days where I'm just like so excited to go home, just to sit on my couch. I'm always a person who loves like hustle and bustle and excitement and people and whatever. Lately, I'm like, man, all I want to do is lay on my couch. Like, that sounds fantastic. So
I don't think
definitely
I
one of
talked to
those.
a human being all day yesterday, as a matter of fact. It was actually really
It was
nice.
nice. Okay,
Yeah.
that's all right. That sounds okay.
Yep. Getting
My
older.
husband makes fun of me often because he says I'm an old lady trapped in a younger person's body. One of the reasons why is because I like lemon flavored things. Apparently, that's an old person thing. You like go your whole
Well,
life not liking lemon, and then all of a sudden you like something lemon.
that's a strange phenomenon. I've liked lemon my entire life,
Totally.
so I'm not
I
sure that
know.
I understand that concept because maybe I've just
I
been
know.
old since I was young
Yeah, I know.
and I didn't realize it.
The other thing is when I walk sometimes with my hands behind my back. It just feels good. As someone who's like a bit of a hunchback, like it feels really good. And he says that only old people walk like that, specifically old Asians, but like old people walk this way with their hands behind their back. I don't know.
Old
It just feels good.
Asians. Well, now
Just
I
if
gotta
you ever
check this
see
out
any old
too.
Asians walking around, they always have their hands behind their back because they probably know something about like longevity and
Yeah,
like
they understand
muscles.
pressure points and all that stuff that we don't,
Exactly.
but that's actually a very good point. And now that you mention this,
Mhm.
I have noticed a elderly Asian woman, and this actually was something that I did notice that she always walks with her hands behind her back.
Mhm.
Maybe one day I will gather up the courage to go speak to her and say, "Excuse me, ma'am,
Teach me the
why do you do
Chinese
that?"
science behind this. It just feels good. Even just doing this right now feels fantastic. So when I'm walking, where else am I going to put my hands? Here, here. Like we live in a very like front-facing society because we're always on our phones, we're always on our computers. But like, sitting like this feels
It's good
really darn good.
posture. I
Ugh,
mean,
I have the
I
worst
cannot
posture.
argue with it.
Exactly. So yeah, lemon cookies and walking like an old Asian person. Apparently, I'm 90 in a 38-year-old body.
Man, well, I think
I'm
I
okay with
probably
it.
got you beat. I'm actually much older in real life, and I'm probably like 137
It's
in
because you do manual labor. I don't
actual
do that.
life because of my life choices, but still standing, still kicking, still here doing my thing. So
Exactly. Shows you how resilient the body is. So, are you ready to have your morning ruined now? We've
I
had
am
some fun
indeed. My
today.
morning has been going great. My company has sold 2 roofs today. I've got a job going
That's
on right now. The
awesome.
gentleman already paid me half the bill without even
Amazing.
having to be asked. So,
Love it.
yes,
Good
let's go
job.
ahead and ruin my morning that's
Let's
been so great.
ruin your morning. Okay. So,
Uh-oh. Oh,
I
no. A
got I've got
kid.
graphics here. Let me
Oh,
which
this
way?
just
Maybe
looks
this
like
way.
it's gonna be bad.
So,
That little girl is the bad indication right here.
so this guy right behind me is 22-year-old Charlie Johns. This is his 9-year-old wife, Eunice,
Oh!
Eunice Winstead. They were
Oh.
married in 1937. So this actually happened without her parents' knowledge or consent. Ron, what the? I'm telling you, it's a
How old was this
ruined weekend.
guy?
22,
And
and
she's
she was
9.
9.
Okay.
So, I mean, like, I want to say, like, as a man looking for a wife, what are the things you're looking for? A good homemaker, able to provide you with children, a good cook. This girl is in like
Eunice
grade 3.
provides none of this.
None of this at all. So, like I said, this happened without her parents' knowledge or consent.
Well,
Uh,
thankfully.
he actually falsified the document saying that she was 18 years old when she doesn't even look 18. Like she clearly looks like a small child, unless they just thought
Yeah,
like
the
this was
question
like,
there would be, who was the one that saw her and said, "Yep, she looks
yeah.
18."
Unless they didn't need to be both be present when you submit the documents. Like now, I think you have to be to prove your ID. But maybe he just wrote down that she was 18. 18 and 21 seems, or 22 seems a lot more feasible. But she clearly
Hmm.
looks 9 if you look at her photos. There is one other picture. I didn't post it because it cuts off at the top, but she's just holding her teddy bear because she's a
It's
9-year-old.
incredibly disturbing. And
It
I know
is.
this was back in the day, so they're probably both long gone, but
Uh-huh.
I would definitely beat the living crap out of that gentleman had I
Totally.
seen this in my time.
Yes, very much so. She might be still around. That would have put her, she was 9 and 37, so she was born in 1928. My grandma was born in 1929. So, and she's still alive. So, I mean, it's
Eunice,
very possible.
if you're still around, Eunice, reach out to us.
Be
We'd
a
like
guest.
to interview you for the show. We'd like to ask what was going on in this situation.
Yeah.
And was it something that you consented to? I don't think it was.
Well, like, how do they even know that they want to be in a relationship? Like, he would come over to her house, like, because he was the neighbor, and like he was just thinking, man, this chick is so hot. She would make a great wife one day. Like, I don't know. I just don't get it. But they're from Tennessee, where, you know, questionable choices in the South back in the day.
Yeah, now it makes sense.
At that time in Tennessee, there was actually no minimum age to marry. So
my apologies to those from Tennessee when I say now it makes sense, but kind of joking, but it did happen there. So
the South was the South still is, but definitely was a wild West, a wild South. Ron says he's a predator. Yes, correct. Whether or not they called it a predator in 1937, I don't know.
I know, and they didn't have those TikTok sites where you could catch these guys like getting beat down and stuff and set up. And that is one thing where we have evolved as a society is we do have TikTok. We've got the ability to trick people with these fake text messages, and then they go to meet at the site, and these guys just beat the crap out of them. And we get to watch those. And I don't know if anybody's familiar with those sites, but I encourage you to watch them. And if you in any way find sexual predators to be something that you would defend, then, you know, I'm sorry that you're offended, but I'm really not. I like watching those.
Totally. Okay, so I mean, at the time in Tennessee, it was very commonplace for people to be married young. So, for example, this little girl's mom was married at 16 and her sister was married off at 13. Neither of those are great. You know, 13, I've got a 13-year-old. No way. No, the kid doesn't even know how to boil water. So, whatever. So, like I said, her parents didn't know. When they finally found out about it, they were obviously disapproving of the union. But eventually, this is where it starts to get really gross. Eventually, they came around to the idea and accepted it. It says that they got used to the idea and actually decided that it was an okay marriage because he was a farmer and he had 45 acres and he also had mules. So therefore a good match.
They were doing it for the money. Wow.
Yeah. So the story obviously hit the papers. So, you know, just because it was Tennessee in 1937 doesn't mean that everyone was like that. The story hit the papers and people were shocked that there was no minimum age for marriage in all of the states. Actually, at the time, there was no minimum age in any of the states. So obviously that's changed, hopefully. Later that same year that they got married, 1937, Eunice had to drop out of school because she got the switch from her teacher. So like a psh, psh, whatever that was, like a beating stick.
Yep.
She was being cheeky to her teacher, I guess, as a 9-year-old would be, right? Maybe she was 10 at the time. Either way, she was young. She got a switch from her teacher. Charlie, her husband, said that no man should switch another man's wife. So like, what a gentleman.
Now, I do agree with that, but...
Well, yeah, but... like, no man should also marry a 9-year-old. So, like, where are her morals, Charlie?
Yeah, I still completely disagree with him on every other thing in the world.
Yes,
That's
absolutely. So
ruining my morning for sure.
I know, right? From then on, because she dropped out of school, so now zero education, she focused on learning how to be a good housewife. As she should at 10 years old.
I guess.
In 1938, so the year after, they lived together. So I guess in 1937, she still lived at home, but she was just married to this guy. By 1938, they did live together at 10 and 23 years old, and they slept together in the same room. It doesn't say in the same bed. It says the same room. Take from that what you will.
I'm actually not going to take anything from that. I'm going to block that completely out. That didn't happen.
By 1942, so now they've been married for 5 years, so she'd be 15 years old. She gave birth to her first child, and they ended up having 9 kids in total. So this tells me they were married for at least 14 years, 15 years. Man. So, you know, the public reaction to this marriage was uproar. obviously. The marriage triggered changes in the law. So even though it's disgusting and we're like, what on earth was happening? It did spark some change, which is great. So Tennessee then raised the minimum age to 16 for marriage, even with parental consent. I mean, 16 is still gross. I've got a 15-year-old. There's no freaking way. But, you know, at least now, like, you can't be doing it without parent consent up until 16. Hold on. This was the picture I was going to show you here. Oh, it's not a bear. It's just a doll. Just look at a little doll. So, yeah.
Now, not to make light of the situation, but do you think that guy right there has the ability to wiggle his ears? The first thing I see is that he reminds me of the guy from school named Carlton with these giant. Maybe that's what it was. He was
maybe
weird.
Ear wigglers. Yeah, I don't know. Sharon's saying if she gave birth at 15, then he was abusing her at 14. I mean, like, okay, let's think biology here. She was 9. Back then, I mean, now perhaps a child would be menstruating at 9 because of hormones and things. In 1937, there's no way she was. So she probably didn't even get her period until she was about 14. He probably waited till like that first time and then. But were they practicing prior to that? I don't know. It's actually really disgusting. Look at your face.
It's incredibly disgusting. Like,
I ruined your morning, didn't I?
To go back in time, I would choose 1930, whatever, and I would go to Tennessee and
deal with Charlie Brown.
I would hit that dude in the head with a 2x4 numerous times.
But he had mules and acres.
That's fine. I would steal the mules. I would make the mules eat him. Something like that.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah. Sharon says that
Becky just took the air completely out of this balloon.
Listen,
today.
We should have started with this so that we could have ended on something more fun. But I listened to this story online and I thought, oh, well, that ruined my day. And I was like, you know who else's day? It's going to ruin everyone that listens.
Millions of viewers. We're going to ruin your day. We're going to start your week off with a story of prehistoric pedophile. And all I can say is life can only go up from here.
Maybe every Monday that I do a show with you, let me ruin your Monday.
Yeah, but not like this.
No.
Man.
Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. I mean, her parents need to be backhanded too. Yeah, the fact that they're like, well, he lied. He basically kidnapped our daughter, married her, is doing horrible things to her. But like, he's got 45 acres. So
he's got, that was like the modern day equivalent of a Porsche or like a Bugatti or something. And it's like, I can't imagine, but that's what they had.
Lena, nicely. You're welcome. I don't know. Like the whole story is so twisted. Like I'm glad it sparked a change in the system. I mean, something would have had to have changed the system. Obviously, it was never going to stay like that. But I don't.
Thank God it didn't.
It's pretty gross.
At some point in history, that was accepted.
This picture got me with her doll. I mean, you're like, oh, a dad and his daughter. No.
Nope.
No.
Man and wife. And you just look at that guy, and it's like one of those deals where now that we know, we look at him and it's like, like, how did anybody not catch this before it became a problem?
Yeah,
like,
right.
He sort of looks like
a creeper. Yeah, like was he coming around the house to hang out more often than not? Like, was there no teenage girls that he could have been with? Like he had to go with a child, a doll wielding child. I don't know. It's twisted. I'm glad the system has changed. But I mean, realistically, there's a lot of people still like this out there. You know, even in America.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And not to politicize our show, but if you're like that, don't watch this show ever again. We don't want to reach out to people like you.
Mm-hmm. Lena says this is like The Girl in the Picture on Netflix. I've never seen it, but it seems like something I want to watch today. Lena and I both love our murder documentaries and our true crime shows. So I trust her when she says to watch something.
I don't feel like The Girl in the Picture is going to be a murder documentary. If this is what it reminds her of, I think it's probably a disgusting movie.
Can't wait.
There you go.
So there we go. Let me ruin your morning. I'm so sorry. I did that.
Mission accomplished, my friend. 100%.
Well, that's the end of our show today. Hopefully you come back tomorrow because we actually have an interesting mix. We've got Sharon and JJ on tomorrow. Now, JJ normally does Thursdays. She has to do Tuesday this week. So I'm very excited for that. I don't think they've done a show yet. I will, Lena, I will watch it and let you know. And then Wednesday, I'm back with Luana. And then Thursday is Ron and Kyle. Saturday, Ira and JP. So it's a real mix. Lena, are you not here this Saturday? Or did he just leave you off of the list here? Anyways, make sure you come back 10 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Mountain Time, or 9 a.m. Central for another episode of Going On Daily tomorrow and every day except for Friday.
Next week, folks, we're going to have a segment called Making Your Day Brighter. And that's how we're going to end next week's show.
So, like, I try sometimes to do a heartwarming story.
And most of the time you nail it. In this one, I mean, when it says, let me ruin your morning, it's like, well, there is clear intent. And I think you definitely hit a grand slam because I can't feel that anybody that's watched today's episode is leaving feeling great about stuff. So
yeah, no, definitely not.
Bring all the emotions.
So sorry, everybody. We did just ruin it. How about, I know we have to go here, but I just quickly clicked on Sunny Skies, which is where I get a lot of my heartwarming tales from. I'll just read the first one. I don't know what it's about here. It says, random act of kindness in the emergency room I'll never forget. This was just posted today. About 2 weeks ago, I, a 31-year-old female, fell and heard a snap in my foot. I was screaming and crying with both pain and fear. There was no one to take me to the emergency room as it was about midnight when it happened. I don't have insurance, so I got a ride share. They're hobbling along until the staff got me a wheelchair. I sat alone facing a corner crying. I had never broken a bone. Maybe she's in that 1%.
Yeah, not anymore.
Been to the ER by myself, and I was panicking about how I was going to pay for this visit. That's crazy. No one should ever pay for a broken bone, but what do I know?
Most people don't.
America. A woman my age, maybe slightly older, asked if I was okay. I told her I was just scared, but I would be fine. She asked if I'd like to sit with her, her husband, who they were there for, and their little baby. Her husband not only wheeled me around to sit with them, but also wheeled me to the vending machine so I could get a bottle of water to help calm me down. He got called into the back, but the woman and her son sat with me, telling me their story and comforting me when I felt terrified. My foot was broken, but my heart felt healed. You never know when someone needs a hug, to talk, or just a distraction. I don't know if that family will ever see this, but if they do, thank you again. I'll never forget what a random and effortless act of kindness can do, and I hope I can pay it forward. That's nice.
There you go. That makes up for everything right there. That is the way we need to end today's episode, with a smile, a nice gesture from a random stranger to someone that was definitely fearful and not feeling good about things.
Yeah, but quick question. Better. How did she pay for her bill? That, I mean, like, you can have nice people all you want telling you it's going to be fine.
If you go to the doctor, 90% of the people just don't pay their bill.
Okay. Good to know.
That's the way it works here.
Perfect. Well, when I move to Texas,
it's going to be amazing.
I don't have healthcare.
You can go there, and they have to help you if your leg's broken. I mean, they can't deny that, right?
Can't deny me. My leg is broken.
You know, you might get like secondhand parts or whatever, but if you don't pay, you don't pay. It's not like you're going to walk around with a broken leg.
Perfect. Well, thanks everybody for watching the show. Be back tomorrow with JJ and Sharon.